Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today I am doing a fan art of this album cover. I just fell in love with this song and the aesthetic of the album. You'll see that I did a really rough sketch in the blue, and then I kind of refined it with another layer of sketch, because it was really hard trying to capture all those flyaway hairs in a more simplified manner. So make it easier to draw overall, especially with my level of skill. Understand? So I did about 2 layers of sketch just to get the rough outline of it, and then to get a more clean sketch so I could do my line art. Because the hard part about line art is your sketch isn't pretty much ready to go, like that could be your line art. Just needs to be a little smoother. Then your line art's gonna suffer, because then you have to make these calls on the fly and think about it rather than having it already mapped out, planned out. This is how I want that, that's how I want this, so forth and so on. So I usually have to do about 2 to 3 sketches, because I have it's a sketch, you know. The first one usually is a mess, and I build on it. I make a new layer, I add a new sketch above it, and I get it as clean and smooth as possible, so that when I put down the final line art, it's exactly how I want it, and I don't have to worry about it while I'm doing the line art, because I have shaky hands as it is. So I usually have to redo a line a few times. And I also, like you see, I go in and I have to edit some of the angles on some of them, remove a pixel here or two, because sometimes one too many throws off the line and makes it a little shaky. Despite my shaky hands, I don't like my lines to be shaky. So this one, I did a lot of work on the hair and the background, because their clothes were pretty simple and all black, and with the lighting of the photography for the album, it didn't really show anything. So I was more focused on the hair and the background, because that's what I really fell in love with, was the pink and the blue, like the atomic blonde kind of thing. The pink and blue kind of 80s vibe I really love. And I listened to the song on repeat while I was doing the line art, so that I could capture it as much as possible, like stay honed in on that vibe. Because sometimes one of my pieces will mostly be inspired by a song, not so much something I saw, but something I heard, and it gave me like all these like visual inspiration. Like I just see this image from hearing the song and I want to create it. So by putting a song on repeat and just solely listening on that, because you know, when you're really focused on something, you drown out everything, but you tune in kind of every now and then. And with that in the background, it keeps my brain focused. Okay, this is what you want. So if a distraction does happen, it's minimal, because my brain's still locked on what I'm trying to create. Because you can get so focused and on one line that you forget the overall picture, and having that in the background, even though I'm like zoning out the world around me, I can still know immediately from just hearing that song, like zoning back out and seeing the bigger picture I want to achieve. It sounds weird and crazy, and it's really hard to explain, but music is definitely a muse for me. And it's not that like there isn't any visual muses for me. Like sometimes there's like manga artists that I get inspired by, because their work is so beautiful, and I just want to be able to achieve something like that. But music is definitely just a notch. There we go. It's a notch above visual muses, for me at least. So I love when a song like really gets me going, and I'm just like, oh man, I create something, I gotta do something with this. And for that, it was definitely this song. I wanted to recreate the album. I've done an album fan art before, but I kind of like mushed it together. That's why it was like fan art and album cover like at the same time. Like I took this artist's album cover, like the position she was in, and I used characters from an anime that I love. And I kind of mushed two things I love together for that. But for this one, I took the album itself. I had it in the corner the whole time, and I tried to recreate it in my own style. Not quite like realistically. I mean, I can draw realistically, but in all honest opinion, I don't know. I always made my art teachers mad because it's just like, you could be really good at this because you have a kind of a talent for it, but it's like, I'm not into it. It's kind of like when you're good at math, but it doesn't mean you really want to be a mathematician. But for me, I like drawing in this style, and I really felt like drawing in this album in my style. For her hair though, it took a while. Like, you see, I put a lot of work into the background, and then more effort into her outfit, and then a lot of effort into her hair, because I like to kind of go intense and then kind of laid back and then intense, you know, like let me recharge my batteries. So I went with the background first and then kind of chill mode for the outfit, although it's still kind of like, I gotta get these lines just right so you can see all the folds in her clothes, because her shirt's pretty much just black, so I just went with that. Yeah. And then, yeah, pretty much everything, her clothes were black, so I just went into the hair then, and that took a lot of also the skin was interesting, because part of me is like, oh, skin tone, and the other part of me is like, no, Jen, it's blue, don't do that. So that was fun trying to do blue skin, even though knowing her skin's not actually blue. My brain was like, come on, brain. It was interesting doing her hair though, because of the highlights. The pink light coming from the left really made like certain strands of her hair look really bright pink, like this one section, and then the other section, the flyaways got caught up in the other light and ended up a little blue, but her hair was mostly dark. So I tried, you know, getting those really bright highlights and then those really dark undertones. So I usually do the shadowing first. It's with the skin, I did the highlights first. I don't know why. Probably just because the highlights were mostly just her actual skin tone. The blue part was throwing me. I don't know why. Yeah, when you do something so many times, you don't adjust. But I started off with the shading like I usually do, and then I tried to blend in the highlights, even though they were really bright and intense. I didn't just want there to be like a defining line. I wanted to ease into it. I really like blending in like highlights and colors and not really having that defining line of where it starts and ends. I like the style, but for me, maybe I'm just not good at it, I guess, because I tried doing it and I'm like, it doesn't look right. I think I'm just better at blending colors. I tend to go with that instead. Well, I hope you guys like it, you know. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you all again soon.